Yeah, so this project is a collaboration between the Fairlawn Sunrise Rotary Club and a nonprofit, Art Nepal. Before we get started on the actual presentation, I will just do the show of hands. How many people know where Nepal is? So about half the room. So we want to just start with a small introduction into the location where the nonprofit home is going to be located. So Nepal is located in between two huge powerhouses of China and India. And the thing that Nepal is most popularly known for is the flag. We have two, it's like the only country in the world to have a non-rectangular flag. The other thing that Nepal is known for is that it's the home to the tallest mountain in the world, which is Mount Everest. Not only is it home to the tallest, but all of the top 10, 8 of the tallest mountains in the world are located in Nepal. And last but most importantly for me, I think the biggest thing I want to know about Nepal is the people. For people who have been to Nepal, the biggest thing that they'll say is the people are extremely kind, caring, and accepting. If you want more proof of that, the founder of Buddhism, his name is Buddha, was born in Nepal and went on to establish a religion that's founded on peace and kindness. And while I can rave on and on about how good Nepal is a severely underdeveloped nation. The illiteracy rates in Nepal is at about 30%, and that's mainly accounted for the cities. Once we go into the rural areas, that illiteracy rate does increase, especially if you are a female or of a lower caste. The big thing here is that people in the rural villages are trying to focus on having access to their basic needs, and education is a privilege to them. Our biggest issue in Nepal is the political instability. Nepal was established as a federal democratic republic in 2008, which was just 17 years ago. And this was following a decade-long civil war after a brutal murder ended our monarchy. So all of this political turmoil has really hindered a lot of progress and a lot of essential services, and education is not considered an essential service right now. But due to both of these issues, what we're seeing is that Nepal has become a place of low wages and opportunities for education and jobs. This has really caused a lot of people to immigrate out of Nepal, leaving behind their families and sending money back to take care of them once they're able to establish themselves in a better place internationally. But when you have the brightest minds of a country leaving at any chance they can get, the potential for economic growth is really hindered. So while it can be a little bit difficult to be optimistic about Nepal looking at all these facts, at Art for Nepal, we're really trying to change that. Art for Nepal is a nonprofit organization based in Fairlawn, and we want to give back to Nepal by targeting the root cause of the issue, which is the lack of education and the lack of access to education for all of Nepal. We want to help underserved communities by empowering them with the skills and tools that they will need in order to survive. So, for Art for Nepal, our nonprofit organization, I just wanted to introduce the three key players here. Ray is the co-founder and CEO, and he's in the back taking the video. He's also a Rotarian. I am also a co-founder, and I work and manage a lot of the operations here in the US. I'm also a Rotarian. And we have our last person, he's my cousin, his name is Ganendra, and he's based in Nepal. He acts as the executive director of Nepal operations and also manages our main project facility, Samsara. I also want to take a moment here to shout out the members of the Fairlawn Sunrise Rotary Club. So Bonnie, Beverly, Tony, and Jennifer, thank you they're part of the committee for this collaboration project, and I just want to give a big shout out to them right now. So, now that we've introduced you to the location and the players involved in the establishment of this project, I wanted to start talking about the actual project of Samsara. So Samsara is a children's home that aims to create a lasting positive change in the lives of underprivileged communities in Nepal. The issue that we're trying to target is that many families are trapped in this cycle of poverty, and they struggle to provide the basic necessities for their families. This puts an immense burden on their kids to skip school and help take care of the family. So a lot of kids will forego going to class so that they can go with their parents to work in the fields or help fish for dinner, just to be able to provide something financially or via food. In such dire circumstances as what they're experiencing, education and their own future is an afterthought. They're just trying to make it through their day currently. So with Samsara, we want to challenge this mindset and really reestablish that education is vital to a child's growth. And we are doing that by providing essential resources such as shelter, nutrition, and educational support to enable the youth in Nepal to pursue their education without any external hardships that they may face. And by doing so, we aim to transform the lives and uplift the broader community. Because at the end of the day, the children in Nepal and the rural villages, they're no different than their peers worldwide. The only difference between them and the people you see excelling internationally is the lack of access to opportunities and the undervaluation of education by the community. We aim to reinstate the emphasis that should be put on education for these kids with our project. So the project will establish itself in 3 different phases. The first phase is the temporary home, which is in operation right now. So the temporary home is our immediate solution that we can provide. While we aim to establish a permanent facility that can house up to 50 children, we still wanted to help kids immediately, even while the permanent facility is being established. So we had a home donated by our executive director in Nepal, Gananda, and we have modified it to be able to house up to 10 to 12 children, as well as a few caretakers and cooks. At the same time, we do have construction kicking off for the establishment of a permanent facility, and this is a 2 to 3 year construction project, with the permanent facility providing access to dorms, libraries, a playground, and all other essential things that children need in order to develop and establish themselves as intelligent and intellectual beings. So this is the temporary home that we have right now. This was just a normal home that we did some temporary restructuring to be able to house up to 10 kids. And then this is the goal for the permanent facility. We have a lot planned, and the land that this is on is actually donated by RA. So we're going to be establishing the permanent facility on his homeland in his village. So to introduce you to the kids of Samsara right now, so these are the 10 kids that we have in our facility. They're with their caretaker, Lakshmi, who's with them 24/7, alongside with a 24/7 cook and a part-time cleaner and a part-time teacher. Gananda also acts as a manager and is able to do frequent visits to the facility. So when we first kicked off the temporary house, we kicked it off in November of 2024, so it's been about 6 months since we started. When we first started, the entire community came to welcome the kids into the village, and they really fostered a sense of community for everyone. The kids, it can be kind of scary to leave your family and go live with a bunch of strangers, but they really had welcomed each other and established like almost a familial setting from the beginning. So this was from over here. This was from our first day of kicking off. They were already playing together and getting along. And now 6 months later, we have officially started construction on the permanent facility, which you can see over here. So overall, for Samsara, while it may seem as just a children's home, we aim to do more than that. It will make a more positive impact on the greater community as well as the nation as a whole. So when we talk about helping a child, when a child enters Samsara Dar, they will be provided with all the essential resources that they need: food, nourishment, and care. By giving them these essential resources, we're able to ensure that they are able to pursue their education to their greatest ability and thus become intelligent beings. The kids will then go on to showcase what they've learned and bring it back to their local community. Our goal is to have them become mentors for the others and be able to share the knowledge that they've learned. These kids will become a beacon of hope, showing the positive impact that education can have on a child's growth. Overall, by engaging with more communities and more children, we'll be able to make a positive impact on the entire nation as a whole, reinstating the importance of education for everyone involved. By helping one child, we can uplift an entire community and create long-term change. Our work at Samsara Dar is not just about the immediate impact. We want to make a sustainable and long-term change. So when we talk about Samsara Dar as a whole, I also wanted to touch on how it aligns with Rotary. So our primary focus is education and then in the improvement of literacy rates. By offering a stable environment, children will have the ability to pursue their education and attend classes as much as they need, which was not provided to them before. By doing so, they will have the ability to focus on their studies and improve their literacy rates, which is a concept that will be further pushed onto them by their caretakers and teachers. Providing access to books, study materials, and having access to a library and a computer lab will encourage critical and creative thinking and hopefully foster a love for learning. That is our main focus for Samsara Dar, but we also touch upon maternal and child health as well as disease prevention and treatment through how we have established the home. Because we are focusing on the mental and physical health of the children, we are ensuring that the child's health as well as any disease prevention is established in place, and we'll be ensuring that they have healthcare checkups and the proper nourishment that they need to become healthy adults. So with that, I wanted to touch on our global grant. So our global grant is in collaboration with the Pokhara Fishtail Club, which is based in Nepal. They are the host club, and the international club is the Fairlawn Sunrise Rotary Club here. So the global grant request is for about $32,000, and this would cover computer and library furnishing, as well as any healthcare needs that they have throughout the next year, as well as nutrition, education, and overall living expenses. So while our primary goal is to secure funding for the global grant, the global grant is crucial to the success of Samsara Dar, but our commitment to the project and fundraising does not stop there. We envision Samsara Dar as a transformative project that will make a positive impact for generations to come, and such effort does not come easy, physically or financially. So the financial investment required for the project as a whole is about $800,000 over the course of the next 3 years. It's a high initial investment cost, but the maintenance cost once the facility is established is much lower. While the grant will cover a portion of these costs, we recognize that this is just the beginning, and everyone on the Arc Nepal and Fairlawn Sunrise Rotary team is committed to fundraising efforts to build the Samsara Dar in full. By investing in our child's education and well-being, we're sowing the seeds for a brighter future, not just for the individuals, but for all the communities involved. Together, with the support of Rotary and our generous donors, we can bring this mission to life and make lasting change that will continue for generations to come. So for now, what we would like to request is letter of commitment, and with the letter of commitment, you are free to fund a specific element, such as a computer lab, library bookshelves, a playground, school books, or you could also sponsor a child. Or you could also contribute to the general fund. Either way, 100% of all donations will be leveraged to help the establishment of some sort of permanent facility, regardless of size or every contribution, regardless of size, makes a difference, and we're thankful for anyone who's willing to help. Together, we can transform lives and really create a brighter future for Nepal's youth. And if you are interested in possibly doing another presentation for your club or doing a donation, please reach out to Bonnie or Beverly on the Freelance Advisory team.
Nepal, a land of breathtaking beauty, deep traditions, and strong, resilient hearts. But behind these stunning landscapes, countless children wake up each day to uncertainty, struggling to find the hope and opportunity every child deserves. For so many children, the dream of education feels out of reach. Poverty, family hardships, and the weight of responsibilities no child should bear keep them from classrooms, from childhood, from a future full of promise. That's why we created Samsara Ghar, a place where childhood is reclaimed, where dreams are nurtured, and where every child has the love, safety, and support they need to grow. Since opening our doors, we've witnessed something incredible. Children who once faced an uncertain tomorrow, now daring to dream. They're learning, they're thriving, and they're discovering the power of their own potential. But this journey is not ours alone. It takes a community. It takes you. With your support, we can provide warm meals, school supplies, a loving home, and the chance for these children to chase their dreams without fear. Together, we can break the cycle of hardship. Together, we can open doors to a future filled with hope. Join us in making this dream a reality. Visit arcfornepal.org to learn more and be part of the change.
Thank you. We can open the floor to questions.
How do you choose these children?
So for the first 10 kids, we had a very extensive selection process. The kids, we went to the local governments in different areas throughout Nepal to talk to them and see which kids were impoverished. Once we had certain families established, Gavin as well as Ray, when they were did local visits to the actual homes to meet the families, to meet the children, and see what the home situation was like. We really focused on kids who were coming from families that were very severely impoverished, that couldn't afford to send their kids to school, and where like the kids really had no other options. That's similar to how we'll pursue future selection of kids. The way our organization works is we prioritize orphans or children who recently lost their parents, and then we move on to looking at home situations and looking at family situations to assess poverty.
What language do they speak?
They speak Nepali, and everyone on the staff does speak Nepali. The teachers we bring in, we try to focus on some teachers who know English so that the kids have exposure to English as well. Because not to push English onto the kids, but even in the local cities, English is becoming much more prevalent, and it opens up a lot of opportunities. But everyone in the facility is able to speak Nepali, and that is the main language that they use.
I believe you had some early success results in
Yeah.
their test scores. Do you
Yeah.
want to share that?
So when the kids first came in, I didn't mention this during the presentation, but the kids attend school at the local state school, and this is a school attended by my dad, and this is also the school that the Fellows Rotary Club previously invested in by establishing a computer lab there. But when the kids first came in, they had to do a test like an entry test to see what level they should be at, and all of them were pretty low in terms of their skill sets. But even just 4 months in, with more months of tutoring, 4 months of schooling, in their second finals, we saw a few of them, 3 to 4 of them out of 10 were already class toppers, which is what we call a normal person who gets the high score in the class. So we're seeing huge improvements and a major positive impact in such a short time.
Are all the children orphans?
Right now, they're not all orphans, but that is our main priority if we were to bring in additional children. Our ideology is that once we have a child, we will continue to help them and foster their education, no matter how the situation changes, because I think in our mentality, helping a child and then abandoning them is almost worse. It puts them in a worse place. So once they're in the facility, they're in, but for future selections, orphans are the priority.
Yes. Please talk about how you're going to be working with the community and how the library will be shared with the community.
Yeah, so in the permanent facility, we will be establishing a library as well as a community center for performances, and both of these will be accessible to the local community. We believe that in order to help our children, we also need to help the local community improve with our overall goal of just helping everyone and helping them understand the importance of education and the positive impact that it can have. So the computer lab, the library and the cultural center will be accessible to the community as well. Any other questions? I just wanted to touch on one thing. During the presentation, I mentioned that the kids in the local village aren't any different, and I think I am an example of that point. This is my father's village. I was born in Nepal, and the only reason I'm able to be here and present is because I was able to come to America. I was able to pursue my education and focus on things. Otherwise, I would be in the same situation that they would be. So that is the main the foundation of our home, that any kid has the potential to be successful in life. It's just we have to give them the opportunity and the education to do so.
All right, well, thank you very much. As Caroline said, any questions?